Tonight on Sports Sunday, Astros spring training is open right here in West Palm Beach, Florida. All eyes are on the prize. Why these guys feel they can get back to the World Series and win it all. We'll hear from all the stars. Altuve, Bregman, Correa, and the 1-2 punch of Verlander and Cole coming up tonight.
Eyes on the prize for James Harden, too.
Oh, he just banked it in!
He's hoping for better things for the Rockets after the All-Star break, and if that happens, we'll tell you why the MVP will be his again.
On the wing, Brooks. It's a 20-1 run.
The Cougars' season-long hot streak continues, and the wins keep piling up. 1 month from today, the 68-team NCAA tournament field is unveiled. How high can the Cougars rise?
Start your engine!
Whatever you say, JJ. Sports Sunday starts now.
Live from KPRC Channel 2, this is Sports Sunday.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Sunday. Splitting up the crew tonight. The Astros are at spring training, so alongside Lainey Fritz, I'm Adam Wexler back in Houston.
Yeah, we showed you guys we're going to talk a little bit Harden, that MVP race, but also a lot of fun out in Charlotte tonight with the NBA All-Star Game and the Cougars. They just keep winning.
That's all they do. Just that one little blemish out there. 4 days of just pitchers and catchers officially working out for the Astros, and that all changes tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of position players have already been down in West Palm Beach, but they're all going to be there very soon, and that is where we find Sports Director Randy McElroy right now, actually. He's anchoring our spring training coverage from out there at the practice facility. Hey, Randy, what's up?
Hey, Laney. Hey, Wex. Indeed, baseball is back. It's a good feeling for everybody who follows the game. You walk around this great complex here in West Palm Beach, the sounds of the game in the batting cage, the ball hitting the mitt, just everything that you know and love about this game is here in West Palm Beach. It's going to be a long road to opening day, but the Astros are ready to put in some work. The bar has been set. We know the expectations are sky high. These Astros want nothing less than a return trip and a win in the World Series.
Off of the crack of the bat with 2 outs.
What's in the past is now forgotten.
Benintendi dives, and he makes the catch!
The ALCS October setback to the Red Sox, now in the Astros' rear-view mirror.
You know, we don't have a lot of egos. We don't have a lot of agendas. We have one sole goal, and that's to win the World Series.
The Astros have reloaded, refocused, and the league has taken notice.
Most of the projection systems have us winning our division pretty comfortably, so there's not a huge sense of urgency or a huge gap in our roster.
The Astros lineup is championship quality again. The superstars like Alex Bregman, George Springer, Carlos Correa, and Jose Altuve are all in place and healthy again.
I think we have a great opportunity to win another World Series, like I said.
And then there's the pitching staff led by the 1-2 punch of Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. Both Cy Young worthy a year ago, ready to return to the same form in 2019.
The more and more I play, the more I realize that being part of teams like this is not something to scoff at or take for granted.
West Palm Beach is where the Astros foundation will be laid. It's their home for the next 6 weeks. The Astros plan is simple. Their mission is on point. Take it back. The marathon to get there starts now.
Right now, it's time to get to work and prove that we want to take it back, and we're going to take it back.
Well, we love that confidence from all the Astros, including Breg. Hey, a few more Astros arrived at camp here in West Palm Beach today, including outfielder Josh Reddick. He checked in quickly, unloaded, set up his locker, then left the complex, escorted out on a golf cart. He was fired up. I think he's going to be ready. He'll be on the baseball field coming up tomorrow morning. Now, while Reddick will be in uniform and on the field, as we mentioned, several of the guys have been here for a few days already, including Jose Altuve. He's starting his spring training routine, arriving and working out a little bit on Saturday, kind of get a head start ahead of a 6-week stay here in West Palm Beach. Now, Altuve, the story was incredible a year ago, playing through all of that pain most of last season with that nagging knee injury. One he got fixed, by the way, with surgery just a couple of days after the playoffs ended in the ALCS. Altuve was a guy A.J. Hitch couldn't keep out of the lineup, nor did Altuve want to come out. He still hit .316 with 13 homers and 61 RBI. Numbers most would love to have. have, but not Altuve. He wants more. He's here, he is happy, and more importantly, he's healthy again as he starts his 9th season.
When you get a knee surgery, you know, sometimes you don't feel really comfortable about the future, but, you know, I really like what I have. And this upcoming season is a great opportunity for us to win another World Series, and you know, we're going to do everything we can to make it happen. And spring training is, you know, really important to get to where you want to be for opening day. And as soon as you walk here, you see a lot of, you know, faces that give you confidence that definitely, you know, we all are on the same page.
All right, one of the earliest arrivals here in West Palm Beach has been Alex Bregman. This guy's been really counting the days since Christmas. Just around a month ago, Bregman had minor elbow surgery to clean out some bone chips that were causing some discomfort. Working a lot here on conditioning with some hitting and fielding, along with some long toss as well. Now, Bregman enjoyed a breakout 2018. He was an all-star, hit 286, 31 home runs, 103 RBIs. Numbers that placed Bregman 5th in the AL MVP voting list. Not bad for a guy who has been just under 3 full seasons now in the big leagues. The last 2 years, he's been durable, missing only a combined 12 games. He's ready for more this season.
I just want to be a guy who shows up, works hard, and is a guy who wants to win and wants to win more than anything in the world. So when I show up here every day, the only thing on my mind is winning that game. And that's a great thing about being in this clubhouse is everyone in here feels that way too. When we're out there playing, there's one goal, and that's winning.
Winning and winning big for the Astros indeed. Thus far during the first of 4 days of spring training for the pitchers and catchers. It's all about conditioning as well out there for these guys and a lot of bullpen sessions. Today, though, a few of the pitchers, and 3 in fact, took that next step that you see early in camp each and every year with live batting practice. And that involved the top 2 pitchers in the Astros starting rotation, Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. Verlander and Cole on field 2 facing hitters. Verlander happy with his fastball, changeup, and slider through just under 30 pitches. Cole was sharp in his 27-pitch outing, hit his spots, and kept what he called good quality and was able to push through the tolerance that he says you endure early in camp. So far, it's all good for the dynamic duo.
I think it's a good opportunity to kind of see where you're at and just really check your stamina. And I felt good, so that's what it's really about at this point. Well, I think everything is a building block at this point, so if you don't pay attention to the details, when you're building the foundation, then everything else crumbles.
You just want to be diligent on some stuff and, just make sure that you control the quality and prepare for, the first time, you step out in the stadium atmosphere.
They threw bullpens early, when they got here and they're progressing to the next step, and then you'll see the next step after that will be maybe another BP session and then the game.
All right, so a good start for Verlander and Cole, Laney and Wex. They're big pieces of this pitching staff. It starts with those 2, but as you know, they need a lot more arms to get the job done this season. They feel like they've got some pieces. What do you guys think?
Well, right now they are the pieces to the starting pitching staff, that's for sure. We've been able to talk about the other spots in it, and I know you will talk more about that a little later, including also a little more on Carlos Correa. So we'll talk more with you in a minute. But again, about that pitching, they know who 4 of the starters probably will be, but the back end is still where the questions remain.
I think what's important is the guy we were just talking about, Verlander, and the leadership he brings. Obviously, he's got the talent, but I think he's really set the tone with that entire pitching staff, and especially with someone like Dallas Keuchel, most likely not coming back, as we were just talking about. It's really great to see Verlander settled in and just leading the way there.
He's been a leader his whole career. He is that and has been that from the moment he stepped into that Astros clubhouse.
The reigning Kia MVP Most Valuable Player, James Harden.
That's the reigning MVP in his 7th All-Star game. That 3-pointer there came after a scoreless first quarter for James. Won't see that in the regular season. He took 13 shots in the game, all 3s. He made 4 in a quiet night for Harden.
And as for the rest of the game, how about the 14-time All-Star Dirk Nowitzki checking in and knocking down back-to-back 3-pointers? Of course, The bench loved that from the old guy there. And then this was no doubt the play of the game, Wex. In transition here, Steph Curry with the bounce pass to Giannis, who just hangs in the air and slams it down with one hand.
That's way too high, except not for him. Third quarter, Harden had the iconic step back as his team, Team LeBron, rallied in the second half. He did it again to kind of put that dagger in there. Team LeBron, the all-important win, 178 to 164.
I'm not worried about MVP. I'm just excited for the second half of the season, getting a full, healthy roster, and taking it from here.
That was James Harden talking to the national media Friday about the MVP race. 25 games left for the Rockets, and the reigning MVP sure looks like he'll remain the MVP for his work this season. His 31-game streak of scoring 30 points or more, it's still going. He's averaging over 40 points per game over his last 34. That's the second best streak of all time. Now, we all know where the competition for MVP comes from. The best the East has to offer is the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the do-it-all forward, except shooting threes, has put the Bucks in position to be considered the favorites to win the East. And as they put themselves in that position, he's become a strong candidate. Paul George doing the same, surprisingly still with Oklahoma City after his offseason decision. But he's been incredible, especially over the last 20 games, scoring better than 32 points a game and connecting on 45% of his three-point shots. So let's look at some of the numbers on the season. When it comes to scoring, Harden easily outdistances the other two in the race. And in fact, that number for Harden, only Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan have a higher scoring game per average number than what James Harden is putting up right now. As we move to some of the advanced statistics on the season, you can see where Harden really separates the case for him over the other two. He's sitting at number one in player efficiency rating, and again, the other two a bit back. That's a ways back for Paul George at 24.9. Number one again for Harden in value above replacement, and you start to notice the gap between 1 and 2. Antetokounmpo is 2, but a good distance between himself and Harden. And over there at the end, box plus minus again. James Harden, number 1. And you can't help but notice Paul George. There's 10 players ahead of him, including Harden and Antetokounmpo. About a month and change until the playoffs get here. The votes will be turned in. And all things still point to James Harden continuing as the NBA MVP. By the way, box plus minus is points per 100 possessions. A player contributed above league average player on an average team. Harden's Rockets currently sit 5th in the playoff picture. Now, the MVP conversation will continue. As Harden has told us many times, it's the playoff race he's more concerned with, and moving up in the standings is absolutely, positively, 100% on his to-do list.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for not being worried about the MVP race, because I think he's got it on lockdown.
He does today.
But Harden continues this MVP campaign, starting in LA against his teammate tonight, LeBron, and the Lakers, and then staying in Cali against the Warriors on Saturday, back home Monday against Atlanta. And Wex, when you look ahead at these next 8 games, 5 of them are on the road against good teams.
Well, hopefully all of the 8 are with Clint Capella. As he told me just before the All-Star break, he expects to play February 21st against the Lakers in their first game out of the All-Star break.
Still to come on Sports Sunday, could the Cougs be moving up those rankings yet again? More from their blowout win today in New Orleans.
Plus, after last season was derailed by a back injury, Carlos Correa looks ready to regain his superstar status. We'll hear from the still just 24-year-old shortstop when Sports Sunday rolls on.
I just want him to get through camp and be in a good place mentally and physically to start the year, and then really not take the year, put the year too far ahead of himself. I mean, he's a contributor in the middle of the order, tremendous talent. We expect him to be really good. We need him to be good for us to have our best team.
A.J. Hinch in the Coach's Corner tonight. Welcome back to Sports Sunday. We continue live coverage from West Palm Beach, Florida. The rise to starter for Carlos Correa has certainly been fun to watch in recent years. The former AL Rookie of the Year has proven he's one of the most talented shortstops in all of baseball. And while there's no denying that talent, the concern is his health. He struggled the last couple of years with back issues, but he's back at camp now. He's healthy, and he's ready for a breakout season. As the Astros get set to open full squad workouts, you can't help but notice the biggest smile in the clubhouse.
I feel good. I feel really good. I'm healthy, like I said. I think you guys could see that today. I don't think last year I hit a baseball like that after I got hurt, so it feels good to be back and be healthy and be able to let it eat.
Carlos Correa strives to be the best at his craft, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball. Last season, though, for the second straight year, injuries got in the way.
And this year, my main focus is I already showed up ready in spring training, so I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to go out there and do what's necessary in order for me to go out there in opening day and perform and be able to play 160 games.
Correa says his back issues are behind him and has added yoga as part of his conditioning program. He believes pacing himself in spring camp will be critical.
I feel like last year I overdid it in spring training even though I showed up ready. So this year I'm going to be smarter about that, and that's the biggest thing I can get from last year is just work smart, not just hard.
Correa has a new lease on life as he begins his 5th Major League season. Staying on the field and putting up big numbers again will go a long way to help getting the Astros back to the World Series.
I'm just glad I have a job right now and I have the opportunity to be an Astro and represent this great organization. This year I'm going to go out there and stay on top of everything in order for me to be healthy and perform like I know I can, like you guys know I can.
Well, Carlos Correa has been smiling since he arrived here in West Palm Beach. Again, he says the back is feeling great. He's ready for a productive spring camp and, of course, a big 2019 season. And when healthy, guys, you look at Carlos Correa in this lineup. If he's out there producing, the Astros' odds of winning this World Series look pretty good.
They absolutely do. Thanks, Randy. We'll check in with you again before we call it a night. Speaking of those odds, the odds, of course, for a team that won the World Series just a season ago and then the hiccup last year, odd makers shine a pretty good light on the Astros. Not the betting favorite to win it all. The defending champion Red Sox have that honor at 6-1. Astros and Yankees, though, as they should be, right behind them, at least if nothing else. I think the American League is going to grab that World Series.
One more. On the wings, Davis. Corey Davis Jr. is just lights out. Ice water in the veins for the senior. Can shoot the ball.
Cougars in the Big Easy today, and they took care of Tulane easily. Corey Davis led a 3-point barrage early. Davis buries the 3. He personally led Tulane 11-5 at that point. And the Cougars dropped a 33-5 run on the Green Wave in the second half to turn this one into a laughter. Davis, his 8 threes finished with 26 points. Armani Brooks with 24 points on 6 threes, 85-50 the final.
That's really what it came down to: offensive rebound, defensive rebound. We wouldn't be aggressive enough on the board, so we definitely had to turn that around in the second half. I think our unselfishness plays a big part in how well we play. We love to see each other just be successful, and I think that plays a big part in our team.
Yeah, sophomore Dejan Giroux has been big for Houston in the previous 2 games before today, but his playing time was cut short in this game. Went down here late in the second half. His ankle appeared to have gotten banged up. He hobbles off the court, left the game, and did not return. So hopefully this injury is nothing serious. As I mentioned, Giroux has been huge off the bench for Coach Sampson. He scored 16 against Cincinnati, then 18 on the road at UConn. But the good news is that he's got almost a full week now to rest and get healthy before their next game when they host South Florida on the 23rd.
Cougars fans cheering for the walk-off wins. First 2 nights of the season, that was Kobe Highland doing it on Friday, and then Cal Lovelace Saturday night had the walk-off RBI single. They won the series, but they lost to Northwestern State today 2-1 in 11 innings.
Yep, and what a day today at Reckling Park for sophomore Trey Cruz. After tripling home 2 in the first, he blasted a 2-run homer in the second, up with the bases loaded in the 5th, an even bigger shot out onto University Boulevard, a grand slam. He finished the day with 9 RBIs on 2 triples and 2 homers as Rice wins it 15-3, win 2 of 3 versus Rhode Island, and they host the Longhorns on Tuesday.
The Owls 2 wins this weekend, the first of the Matt Braga era, one that is sure to be energetic at the least.
Listen up, hitters. If he catches that, what do you do at first? Tag.
Better listen up. We mic'd up Coach at practice. We'll take you behind the scenes with the Owls next week on Sports Sunday.
And still ahead on Sports Sunday, J.J. Watt got it started at Daytona. Why today's race resembled a football game? We'll explain after this.
Start your engine! Boogity, boogity, boogity!
J.J. Watt was the grand marshal at today's Daytona 500. A few too many wrecks. There were 12 cautions in the race, but it was Danny Hamlin that took home the checkered flag. In overtime, it's his second Daytona 500 win. But another sports week is now in the books. A new one is underway, and who knows what amazing things we'll see in this coming week.
I'm going to say we're going to see greatness, along with the odd and the unusual. The Sports Sunday Top 5 returns and takes us to break.
I thought he was stopped, but look at this. Catapulted into the crowd.
Pitchers and catchers have reported, and so has Warren Fogle as he knocks it out of the park. The baseball surge.
Did he touch them all?
He touched them all.
Touched them all.
Chris sold it. Sends inside. He absolutely shook the leg. Like he meant it, huh? Wow, he cocked that baby.
Baseball pass.
That is it for us in Houston tonight, though there will be a Facebook Live at click2houston.com immediately after the show.
Yeah, let's do one more check-in with Randy over in Florida. Big day tomorrow, Randy.
Yeah, well, I think we're ready for that next stage of spring training. Pitchers, catchers kind of got it started. That's been fun. Tomorrow's full squad. All the guys are here. Possibly owner Jim Crane. We'll find out tomorrow. We're going to wrap it up here. And in 8 hours, we're back when the clubhouse opens. We'll talk to the guys. We'll be live coming up tomorrow. Great coverage from Houston and right here in West Palm Beach. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again next Sunday right here on Sports Sunday.